ninjas, dans le Poiré here, and welcome to my review of The Power Inside Her. This certainly had the gravitas of the 100th episode of this series. I do want to say though, it wasn't a perfect episode. There were, for one thing, conflicting elements that took away from its potential, and on top of that, the plot didn't really go anywhere. That all said, I still think this episode was amazing. First off, the mature subject matter. Addiction is such a controversial issue, and I really applaud this show for, I think, tactfully and tastefully depicting the struggles associated with it. If you have faced addiction and you think this show did not properly represent you or your struggles, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, or you could privately message me as well. I really do believe in educating myself. On that note, and I know this is a tangent, if you are facing addiction, please make sure you're getting the help and the support you need, because you deserve a full, happy, healthy life. And for those of you who have conquered your demons as best as you can, I am so proud of you. I don't know who you are, but I am so very proud of you, and you are hands down better than I am. Besides the subject matter, the character development, oh my goodness. Especially for a 20-minute episode, we covered so much ground, and I'll get into that in just a moment. Before I do want to mention the one reference I caught that pulled at my heartstrings: X-Men, White Phoenix. I got serious vibes of that through April's own transformation.
But Donnie, what have I done?
It's not your fault, April.
I love how the Hamada clan comes together as a family. They are powerful for it, and definitely a far cry from the Foot clan, where it's basically every soldier for himself. Now this clan, the Hamada clan I should say, they actually celebrate each other's similarities, and it's no turtle or person or rat left behind. And that's such a beautiful union. And we definitely got full force of that with the turtles missing Donatello and seriously grieving for him. He's got, let's be honest, he's gotten his fair share of flack, torment from his brothers, and it was very heartwarming and heart-wrenching to see his brothers grieving so strongly for him. And I do want to argue they do get on each other's case. The Hamada family is not perfect, but watching them grow, it is so poignant and mature and beautiful. I do want to say, I mentioned that this episode covered a lot of ground with character development, because not only did it get into the Hamada clan and how close they are, but it explored individual relationships between characters. And the thing about it is that these personal relationships are more of a celebration of differences, because the characters are bringing unique traits of theirs. For example, Leo and Donnie will get along differently than Leo or Raph, or Donnie and April, right? And this episode, I especially love that it covered how April feels about Donnie, because it's been kind of questionable in the last while, really. I do think their relationship is still very platonic, but there's no doubt in my mind that April is far closer to Donnie than she is to any other turtle, human, or rat. Because it was only memories of Donnie that brought April back, and when she realized what she had done to him, she was devastated, absolutely heartbroken, and that is very, very telling. Does that mean that there is definitely a romance in the future? I actually think it's hard to say. Who knows if the show is bold enough to go that far, but it's definitely possible. The foundation of April and Donnie's relationship is there for it to go from platonic to romantic. And that is coming from me, who initially was all like ixnay on the relationship ray. So who knows? Maybe it's also a very closed-minded opinion of mine. And let's not forget that Donnie and April are mutants, so there's really nothing to be worked up about, technically. I mean, right? Right. One last thing I want to mention about the Hamada clan is that the writers have been faking quite a few deaths recently. To be honest, this is the drama that they reserved for season finales only. Like, season 1 finale, it seemed like Leo died for like 20 seconds, and that was already tough. Then season 2, Leo goes into a coma, and Splinter is pretty much presumed dead. He survives, of course, but then in season 3 he actually does die. He actually does die. I could go on. This is usually reserved for very intense situations. So I don't know whether or not the writers are kind of building up to something incredibly intense. And we already had the Super Shredder, so I don't know what else they could do. Or maybe they're setting the groundwork for a darker series as a whole. I don't really know what to expect, but we will see. We will see. I'm kind of nervous, and we'll see.
Foolish creature! You could have had all the power of the universe!
Now the thing that really confused me that I mentioned off the top of this review is that how the spirit inside the crystal, namely Zanaran, how she became dark to begin with. Like honestly, the Soul Star piece is the epitome of all that is good and noble in the entire universe. How does a piece of that become evil? I have a couple of theories about that. One, and this is the one I hold to, that Zanaran was balanced out with the other spirits in the Soul Star, so being extracted from that hive mind per se, actually destabilized her completely. Maybe the other option is that she wanted a corporal body so much that she lost sight of her values. Those are the two I thought of. I would love to hear your thoughts, whether you agree or whether you disagree or have thoughts of your own. As I said, I'd love to hear them. Another issue with the Soul Star piece, I guess, was maybe a lot of you as well, felt that they didn't really lead up to there being a living spirit inside of the crystal. And I disagree. I think Bat in the Belfry actually properly hinted that there is a conscious force inside of that shard. It wanted to be out, it wanted to live, so it pulled out these fictional characters and gave life to them. I didn't recognize that at the time, I definitely admit, because I just chalked up April's corruption leading to, basically that it was too much power for her to hold. I wasn't wrong, it definitely, wasn't far off, but as I said, I completely missed the fact that there's a living being inside of that crystal. Getting now down to April, I mentioned also off the top that people who overcome their addictions and let's be honest, and their fears too, are incredibly strong individuals. And April is definitely amongst that company because she not only defeated her demons, she took down a raging cosmic beast. I'm so excited, I think, for the road April's going down on now. Now that she has control over her powers, better control over them, I do believe that as she gets older and as she progresses her training, she will definitely become stronger spiritually. And her ninjutsu finally has room to flourish in a way that it couldn't with the Aeon's power. So I am thrilled for this latest development. Alright everybody, that is it from me. I hope you did enjoy this review. As always, feel free to comment below with your thoughts and reactions to mine, and I'd love to hear your ideas of my question of the day. I still don't know what that is.
Eventually.
I don't know what to ask you. I'm sorry. And I definitely want to hear your thoughts of what video you would like to see for your thank you AMV. I am really excited to start working on it, and I will do so next week. So make sure you get your ideas in. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you enjoy a wonderful day. See you, my ninjas.